Okay, so now we will learn few important aspect of dynamics. Okay, so first we will go to some basic. Say this is a triangle. So this is a triangle. This angle, if it is theta, let us give some name, that is A, B, C. This AC, the side AC, that is the hypotenuse, and say that is X. Now you have to express this BC and AB in terms of X and theta. So cos theta is equal to BC by AC. Okay, AC. So BC is X. Sorry, we have to find out the BC. AC is X. So your BC is equal to X cos theta. Okay. Similarly, sin theta is equal to AB by AC. So AC is X, so AB is equal to X sin theta. Okay. So if this side is represented by a vector or force F, suppose, then the component along BC should be F cos theta, and the component along BA, it should be F sin theta. That means when we will be splitting two force, similarly if I make a perpendicular from here, so this is nothing but AB. So now if a force is represented by the hypotenuse of this triangle, now the horizontal component, that means the component along CB will be the cos component of F, and the component along the vertical axis, that should be F sin theta. Okay, so this concept will be needed. So first thing which we are going to learn today, what should be the value of a centrifuge, what should be the value of centrifugal force. Okay, so we know force is equal to mass into acceleration. So first we will find out the centrifugal acceleration. So let us take one circle. So if this is the circle, so at the initial position, the velocity, say one particle here, the mass m, is rotating along the circle. So the velocity will be always tangential. So let this velocity v. Now after some traveling after some angle theta, again this velocity will be in this direction, tangential. Okay, so now if we can split So now this is again velocity v. So now we will try to split this velocity along the vertical and the horizontal axis. So this is your horizontal axis and this is your vertical axis. Okay. So now you see, if this is theta, then that is theta. So this angle how much? 90 minus theta. Okay. And again this total angle is 90. So only this angle should be 90 minus 90 minus theta. So basically that is theta. Okay. So now if I redraw, so this is the circle along which the particle, the mass is rotating. Okay, this is the circle. So initially the velocity was along this, which is v. After traveling some angle theta, again the velocity is along this. Now the vertical so if I split this velocity into vertical and the horizontal component, so this is v and this angle is theta. So as I told, the component along the side which is attached to theta is the cos component. So along this it should be the cos component. So v of cos theta, and along this it should be the sine component. So v sine theta. Okay. Now acceleration is nothing but the rate of change of velocity with respect to time. So when the particle was at position A, so only the vertical component was there. There is no horizontal component. But when it has reached the position B, it has both the component, horizontal and vertical component. Now we can assume that theta tends to 0, very small. If so, then cos 0 is 1. So cos theta tends to 1. And if theta tends to 0, then sin theta tends to theta. Okay. So this v cos theta is nothing but, as cos 0 is 1, so it is v. So the initial position, it was the velocity was v, and the final position at v, the vertical component is again v. So there is no change of vertical component, only the horizontal component got changed. At position A there was no horizontal component. When it reached position B, there is a horizontal component which is equal to v sin theta. As I told, if theta tends to 0, then v sin theta, then sin theta tends to theta. So v sin theta is approximately equal to v theta. Okay. This is the change of velocity. Say to reach from the position A to B, it took t time. So now the centrifugal acceleration F is equal to v theta by t. Okay. Now this theta by t, what is this theta by t? This theta by t is called the angular velocity. Okay, so now again we can say the radius is r, and the arc which is travelled, if that is s, and theta is in radian, then this s is equal to r into theta. That means my theta is equal to s by r. Now if I replace here theta, so v into s by r into 1 by t. Now I can write v by r into s by t. What is s by t? That is the linear velocity v. So v into v by r, which is equal to v square by r. Now you know the centrifugal force is equal to mass into acceleration. So mass, acceleration already we find, so that is v square by r. So this is if a particle it is rotating along a circle of radius r, then the centrifugal force experienced by the particle is mv square by r, where m is the mass of the particle and v is the velocity of the particle through which it is rotating along the circle. Okay, so hope this concept is very clear. Okay, now we will learn the second topic. If this is a surface, it's a rough surface, there is some friction. So one block I kept here, one block, this surface friction is there. Okay, so the weight of the block, it will be working vertically downward, and the surface will give some reaction which is called vertical reaction, that will be experienced by the block, which is r. Now if we try to move the block towards this direction, the block will experience some frictional drag which will try to pull that block in the opposite direction. So this is F. If the frictional, as per the law of friction, this frictional drag is proportional to the vertical reaction. So to make this equal, to convert this proportionality to equal, we have to bring some constant mu. This mu is called the friction coefficient, and it should be always less than 1, less than equal to 1. Okay, so this is the fundamental of friction, fundamental of frictional law. Now we will try to understand the friction in a inclined surface. Say this is an inclined surface, it is theta, and a block is kept here. Okay, now we should learn, we are trying to learn what is the what is the acceleration and when it will start to slide and all these things. So always the mass will work through the center of gravity vertically downward. The weight, so this is the weight. Now I am splitting these components, that all the components I am trying to splitting up. Okay, Now this angle is theta. If this angle is theta, then this angle also theta. Okay, so what we learned, the component along the side which is adjacent to theta, that should be the cos component of the vector. So here our vector is w, so this component is w cos theta, and this component should be w sin theta. Okay, now if, as I told, if the block is just about to slide downwards along the inclined surface, then the frictional drag, it will work opposite, and this is the vertical reaction. This is the vertical reaction. Now we have splitted up all the vector along the vertical and the horizontal line, along the vertical and the horizontal line. Okay, so what should be the value of f? We learned it is mu r. So here r is equal to w cos theta. So that is mu w cos theta. So this is the frictional force. Now we will be considering few conditions. So the movement of the block will be decided by the value of w sin theta and f. So if this w sin theta and f both are equal, that means the block will be stand still. That will be in equilibrium. That entire system will be at equilibrium. Okay, so now once the value of this w sin theta is greater than f, that means the block will start to slide. Okay, but always the force F will be acting on the block, the direction of which is just opposite to this w sin theta. So when it's sliding along the inclined surface downward, then the resultant force acting on the block, which is accelerating the block, that is w sin theta minus f. Okay, so what is the value of f? So that is equal to w sin theta minus mu into r. What is the value of r? The value of r is w cos theta. So mu w cos theta. Okay, now the acceleration will be experienced by the block, that is equal to my resultant force divided by mass. So this is the resultant force. Here we can take the w common, so that is sin theta minus mu cos theta divided by m. So what is w? That is the weight. So mass into g into sin theta minus mu cos theta divided by m. M got cancelled, so the final figure of the acceleration is g into sin theta minus mu cos theta. This is very important equation which will be used in so many problem solving in dynamics. Here now we will, from whatever so far we have learned, so from there we will try to emphasize one simple phenomena. Let us a block, this is the surface, earth's surface, a block is kept like this. Somebody is trying to move the block by pushing, by applying the force like this, or somebody is trying to pull the block like this. So which will be for which action it will need less effort? Let us try to infer it what from the concept so far we have learned. Okay, so first we are considering the first case. We are trying to move the block by pushing. So actually this force is acting like this. So now we can split it in two components. One is my horizontal component. So if this is the theta, so this will be f cos theta, and the component which will be going like this, this is the component which will be acting like this, so this will be f sin theta. And your vertical reaction will be like this, and your W, that means the mass of the block, also like this. So this R, the vertical reaction R in this case is equal to W plus f sin theta. Okay, now we will consider the second case. So the block is here, this is the earth surface and this is the block. Now somebody is trying to pull it out. Now this is my horizontal component and this is my vertical component. The force is same, F. So first case, this is case 1, this is case 2. And if this is the angle theta, then this angle is f cos theta. So basically this force will be helpful to move the block, but there will be, once it is moving, the block is moving towards this direction, a frictional drag will be developed which is opposite direction, which will be opposing this force. Okay, so in the second case the vertical component will be f sin theta. Now the W is working like this. So your resultant and your vertical reaction, again it will be unchanged, it will be like this. So in this case is R2. Now from the vertical component, if we equate, so R2 plus f sin theta, these are the R2 and f sin theta, this is in same direction and W is opposite direction. So W is equal to R2 plus f sin theta. So R2 is equal to, W minus F sin theta. So you see, from this quantity R1 and R2, which one is higher? Definitely R1 is greater than R2, because in case of R1, F sin theta is added with W, but in case of R2, F sin theta is subtracted from W. So definitely R1 is the greater quantity and R2 is the lesser quantity. So R1 is greater than R2. So the frictional drag here, F1, in the first case, it is mu R1, and the frictional drag in the second case, F2, is equal to mu R2. Okay. So as mu are same, both the cases mu is same, but as the R1 is higher than R2, then F1 is definitely higher than F2. So in the first case, where we are trying to move the block by pushing, the frictional drag will be higher than the case where we are trying to move the block by pulling. So definitely from this explanation we can conclude that when we are trying to move a block, always the pulling will be needed less effort compared to when we will be trying to move it by pushing. Okay. So this is all about today. So you should understand the concept what I have told so far, and from there I will give some mathematical problem tomorrow. Okay. Thank you so much.